Zephyr's dark side says that animals feel they scream. And so let's see where now we need a humane way to farm. Animals may have brains. If you want to argue for veganism, we need a way to substitute protein and vitamins not available in inclusive diets without supplements. That's funny. I was vegan for
Um,
25, 30 years. No, I was I was vegan for 18 years before I took a supplement. And
Joe
I did
Rogan
fine.
is all for supplements, takes a ton of supplements, and
He does take a
he's
lot of supplements,
not.
advertises them,
He eats
advertises.
nothing but meat. So I think a lot of us take supplements not because we necessarily need to, but because um, we want to biohack.
Yeah.
And also, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that because the animals that we produce are given
They're giving
supplements.
supplements as well.
So it's
So
like
we
wasteful.
supplement.
And as a pro killing vegan, I
Yeah.
think, and pro
And
vegan
pro
for the
economy.
economy, I think it's
Yeah.
just wasteful to give animals supplements instead of just eating it directly.
That's so interesting.
Uh,
So Joe Rogan, he is pro animal farming, and so he's intensely into government subsidized supplementing of animals that we will then slaughter and then he'll
wh-
eat in order to get that, and then he will also supplement because he still doesn't feel too good or wants to feel better or be stronger or be bigger. You're
we've
that you're
fallen off
vegan
the
for the,
rails. Yeah,
we you say "we" as if I had anything to do with
no,
this. You were the one. Alright, so, I was the one trying to get you to explain the process of the House of
yeah.
Delegates, but I think we sort of did that, and,
I think so. Hopefully, we all realize your time is wasted as an animal rights activist or anybody working for animal protection if you're not talking to veterinarians. Anything you say on the internet, if it's not directed at a veterinarian, um, and if it's not kind, and if it's not following like the science behind persuading people effectively, you are wasting your time. So, do you want to waste your time or do you want to be effective for the animals? If so, you need to be contacting veterinarians with this sort of information to get them to see the light, to see the harms of the AVMA and take action. So, please.
well,
Um,
and I wanted to ask, like, who stands to benefit from our silence? I guess that's something that I've really been thinking about, like, if we when we talk about, okay, if you want to make a benefit to animals, here's what you have to do, and you're making a bold claim saying this is the best way to do it, and if you do anything else, you're wasting your time, which is something that a
mhm,
lot of people in the gurus in the movement tend to say. Maybe you're going to be a
yeah,
great you're going to be a great cult
well,
leader, if
I don't know
if
about that.
you'll be a great cult leader because yeah, all the good ones they say something similar like this is the best way.
Mm,
Mine is the only way to do it, and if you do anything else, you're wasting your time. But I think it's really good, and I wonder if we stay silent and we don't do it, then who stands to benefit? Like who benefits from our silence, I guess, and not doing it this way?
the billionaires do.
Billionaires. Okay.
Yeah. And not you, billionaire. I know we're all going to be billionaires one day. Am I right?
I'm a
But
billionaire already. I'm just suffering a minor inconvenience, a temporary inconvenience of poverty.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so we're not hampering your ability to one day become a billionaire, which I know you are will be one day.
One day.
But those billionaires are preventing you from becoming your own billionaire. And this is how we're going to stick to them, by preventing them from doing things that make your future employees sick, and your future consumers who are going to buy whatever brilliant product you have dead.
Okay, so
You know,
it'll affect you if you don't, because it'll affect billionaires if you don't do it. Which billionaires, like which big companies are the ones? Because I know we talk about some of these, and we sometimes these names become because when I think billionaire, I think Elon Musk, and I don't think we're hurting Elon Musk. I don't think Elon Musk benefits from my silence because I complain about Elon Musk every day. Everybody does.
but I
Which
mean, Elon Musk is like small potatoes, like those smart billionaires, the real billionaires. those are the ones who aren't yapping their mouth all over the Twitter machine. They're silent. They know better than to get on anybody's radar. So we're talking
Yeah.
about the Cargill family,
I
the
was wondering if they
Macmillans.
were gonna come up, the Cargill
Hmm.
family. Now, Cargill family, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're really into killing plants. Am I wrong about that? I
To
know they kill
feed
animals.
animals. Everything on your pantry has Cargill's stamp on it. Um,
Mhm.
Even though it doesn't say Cargill. But yeah, they feed animals. That's where it's at. They also kill animals too, but most of
They do, yeah.
they're smart. They're the plant exploiters, which is,
Every
as a
step.
plant rights activist, I have a problem with the Cargills.
I
They're
think the
everything I hate.
Cargills really are the smartest bunch of billionaires. I think I've heard reports between 14 and 20 members of this highly secretive private family. Between 14 and 20 of them are billionaires.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard
they
21
You heard
last
21?
time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard
21
different
billionaires.
I've heard
Yeah.
different reports over the years about how many of them are actually billionaires because they
Hmm.
do operate largely in the shadows because they're one of the largest companies on planet Earth. They control vast amounts of grain, most the number one grain controller on Earth, and they are accountable to nobody because they
They
don't
control all
report
the
their
laws and
state.
the politicians
Yes.
and everything.
They're
Um,
not even
and they're
not
not on the stock exchange, so you can't
right.
look at their books. Their books are all
They're not even transparent even a little bit because they're not on the stock exchange. Totally private a family company. And I think they're so smart too because they control everything from they own the railways that transport the feed. They own the
mhm.
farm that the animal is being fed on. They own every step of the process in this thing called vertical integration, and they just keep gobbling up other different portions of this industry because it makes sense, right? Why not just buy the trains that bring this over? It makes perfect sense. They're so intelligent. And by doing that, they're able to, yeah, to operate in the shadows. And Cargill, yeah, we're talking about Cargill. Cargill spelled like that. We've been to Cargill factories. Um, they're highly secure. They've got people out there really making sure that you're not allowed to come in or go
Mhm.
anywhere. Um, yeah, they are a big, scary company that benefits from our silence on this. I would say. Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
absolutely. And they're preventing you from getting ahead. Um,
Yes.
so the best way for you to get ahead is to take them down.
Mhm.
Um, don't
Take
be
them down,
Simpson
expose
boosters
them.
because we uh, we suffer from the Cargills, all of
And I
us, because
and I
they're
think
not a
a
Cargill.
company like that and a family like that, they've gone to such great lengths to maintain their privacy that every time we expose them a little bit, I think it is a little nick
One
at
of us
them. I
gets
think
killed, I
a little
know,
scratch.
but it's a willing.
Well,
It's yeah.
that's how you know vegan activists aren't. Oh, sorry. That's how you know animal
Mm,
liberation activists are not getting anything done because none of them turn up dead by the Cargills. Cargills usually,
yeah,
well,
they only yeah.
people do end up
We're
dead,
gonna
but
get
no one knows
sued
how. That's what I
by
mean. No one
saying
knows
that the
how.
Cargills
I didn't say that.
kill people. Nobody
I
said
did.
that the Cargills kill people.
I did not say
Um,
that. But the Coca-Cola
Nobody
company.
said anything about the Cargills and Jeffrey Epstein's island. Nobody said anything like that.
Nobody
Just for
said
the
any of that.
record.
We'll never know if they were actually on the island because, I really think that that's
Well,
one of
if we just believed women, we wouldn't need a list. Am I right?
you are right about that. You're right about that. Okay, I don't want to skip. I know you get bored easily and you talk about it all
Yeah.
the time. I wonder if you could just tell me. I'm going to ask you to do a couple things that maybe might be a little rote for you. The first one is,
Okay.
would you just tell us why very quickly the Cliff Notes version, because I've heard it a bunch of times, but I want everyone else to hear it. What's the big deal with why do we want cat declaws banned? Why does AVMA? Why do we give a care? Isn't it just a little procedure? The cat gets a little. What's the big
So
deal?
it causes like immense, it's removing the first digit of the cat's fingernail. It leads them to
The first
start
knuckle,
having
right? Yeah.
the first knuckle, the first bone of their finger. It causes them chronic back pain, even if it's done the best way with all of the pain control and lasers and everything. They still suffer afterwards the effects. Neuromas, they suffer back pain because the tendons are gone. They start urinating outside the litter box because of the chronic pain. They'll start biting, and then that leads to increased relinquishment to the shelter. So declawing is always bad. They always say like, oh, we have to declaw because the elderly woman owner is on blood thinners or she's immunocompromised. No physicians group recommends declawing cats because of that, because they know cats are going to bite. And that's
Mhm.
even worse. Are you going to remove the cat's teeth now? No. There's other ways. There's soft paws. There's other things you can do. It's really ridiculous to declaw cats. It's illegal in other countries. They haven't seen any negative effects from banning it in other countries, only positive effects. So we need to ban it all across the United States. And the AVMA, the American Veterinary Medical Association, is preventing us from banning it across all of the states. The one way you can change that is to send this letter to any veterinarians you know and tell them to contact their AVMA delegates and inform them of this and get the AVMA to support legislative bans on cat declawing.
Sounds good to me,
So
but it also sounds like we're always up against these Cargills and the AVMA and the people who run the AVMA and the corporations that own the AVMA, and we're always running into these challenges, or just people who are crappy saying that they're gonna, I want to eat more, I'm gonna eat twice as much animal as you because reason. It's just such a stupid statement. This stupidity constantly. How do we stay resilient in the face of all that? Like, how do we stand firm when all of this is going on? How is that even possible?
everybody's got their own like way of dealing with this. I know that there's certain narratives out there in activist circles that are really harmful. The idea of like, oh, Crystal, your heart must ache after looking at these cows. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I got out of bed this morning and realized the world is like, I'm not living in this fantasy world where everything is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm just like exposing the reality of it. So every victory, everything that I've accomplished, it keeps me going. Like every news story I get published, every that's what, like, that's a victory against these people. So i I am personally like, understand what you're feeling. If you're feeling like sad or scared, those are very like demotivating emotions, and ask yourself, should you instead be angry? Anger, I think, is an empowering emotion. And also humor, like find the absurdity and the humor in it and make like
Mhm.
jokes about it too, I think is really good, positive. But like fear and depression and sadness are not positive emotions. So stay away from that. Um, I don't know. How do you stay resilient in all of this?
Well, I mean, I do seek solace in friends, people like Kathy Skywalker. Thank you so much for contributing. But also, I love what you said about the absurdity of it all. I think about Albert Camus said that we have to imagine a happy Sisyphus. And I think about that quote a lot because Sisyphus is condemned to roll the boulder up the hill. He's condemned because he fought in the Titan Wars against Zeus and the rest, and he's forced to roll up the hill. And then every day, the at the end of the day, the ball rolls down the hill, and he's got to push the boulder back up. And we have to imagine him happy because of the absurdity of life, and just accept that suffering is part of it. I mean, all of us feel that way. I know that I get when I see animals like that, I feel like I can shut a lot of it off. But of course, it gets to you. Like if it's really hot and you're sweating and you're seeing all of this, I mean, maybe take a nap. And I also meditate, so I guess That's a big part of
Mhm.
it too.
Yeah,
Meditation
same.
helps me a lot. Yeah, grounds me, gets me because sometimes it's not actually seeing a cow in distress that like throws me off, triggers me or whatever. It doesn't actually. And sometimes I'm like, well, I've seen so much. Like when I worked in Vegas, I've seen so much violence. I've seen people really, really harmed. I've seen people harmed in throughout my life, and I've seen animals harmed, obviously, in activism and just in life. And it's the dwelling on it that ends up getting to you. So you've got to
Mhm.
stop that cycle, I think. And that is where
Yeah.
meditation comes in because you're in this boxing match with your thoughts, right? You're in the shadow boxing with these kind of intrusive thoughts, especially if they're to any degree traumatic. And so you've got to take that time. I meditate 20 minutes a day, every day, without
Mhm.
exception. I do 20
Yeah,
minutes
same.
at least. And I usually meditate right before bed too. Like I'll do 20 minutes sometime during the day. I'll usually eat lunch and then meditate. And so like when I take my lunch, I do an hour. I'll eat lunch really quickly for half an hour and then I'll go in and meditate for 20 minutes and then I feel refreshed. I feel like a different person. I feel like a much better equipped. So I think that's really
Mhm.
important. Um
And I think
and
working out too, like, you gotta exercise your body. And I, like, find, like, running is, like, the best, but also, like, I have, like